Susan Temmie here again with a photo to edit for you guys. So unlike the first edit we did, which was in studio, I decided to pick a photo that was done just in my living room, just sort of like a snapshot without any special lighting. Here we have just window lighting coming in from the side. And this is a photo of my kiddo when she was tiny. And I'm going to edit it from the beginning, from Lightroom, so you can see the steps from beginning to end. So we'll just do it in chunks, so it's not overwhelming. And I'll also provide this photo so that everyone can edit it with me from the very beginning. So here we go. Here is a photo of a kiddo taken with window light, and there's obvious things we want to do to it. So when I look at this photo, right away, I love the expression, which is why I chose it. But there's a little dirt on the sweater, a little dirt on the face here. The colors are really off. She looks really yellow, a little bit yellow-green. And there's this really distracting thing in the background. So those are the main things I'm going to want to change in this image. So for color editing, definitely Lightroom is the way to go. And what we're going to want to do here first is look at the lighting. So lighting first, color second. So this is pretty dark. So right away I'm going to see if reducing shadows reducing shadows really works here, and I might go to about plus 24. Blacks will also do that, so you see the opposite. I always like to go really hardcore, just so I can see, okay, this is what it's actually doing. Even though, you know, after a while you know what each slider does, it just sort of helps know how to edit. So shadow, again, shadow is showing you what it does. So I've settled on about 25 for shadows and 23 for blacks. And I'm really kind of happy with that. To take down the highlights, the bright side, just a little bit, I might move this slider. So again, I do it all the way so I see what it does. So it doesn't actually do too much, just a bit. So we can just use a little bit of it. And then my exposure would go after that, so I'd decide if I want it darker or brighter. But I think I was happy with it, sort of where it was. Maybe just a smidge brighter. So I went plus 20. Actually, no, I think I like it just where it was 0. Okay, so that being said, next we're going to do color. So here it really works because I painted my wall gray. I can just click this symbol right here and pick a neutral target. So pick my gray wall. That really makes it more red. Sometimes when this shift happens right away, you just can't get used to it. So I close my eyes and reopen them as though I'm looking at the image for the first time. And that's still too red. So what I would do here is we can change the tint and turn it a little more green. About 20, I'm happy with that. There are some spots that are still a bit yellow, and that I can do in Photoshop. I'm actually going to also adjust my temperature slider just a bit cooler. Okay. And sometimes this work feels like a little bit of a waste if you're going to go put a color filter over it anyways in the future. And a lot of photographers do choose to edit, put their filters on right away and be done with it. I don't, because I like to keep my photos as original JPEGs, so as a very basic color edited JPEG, and then do all my Photoshop work and keep that as a separate file. And then I get rid of my RAWs. So that's my workflow. It is a little longer, but it's definitely what I prefer. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. I'll just take a look at my previously, let's see, where's my previously edited one? So that one's 6. So that one I actually went way down. So see, just yesterday I edited this one and was in a different mood and edited it differently, which happens. So depending what you feel like, you may choose a different edit. Actually, I think that one was a better choice. So I have the color temperature final at 6,300 and the tint at plus 14. And now I'm going to export this. So to export, you go File, Export, and you pick which location you want it to. I'm just going to do it to the desktop. No subfolder, but you could put it in a subfolder called Edited JPEGs or whatever you wanted. Lightroom to JPEGs. I'm going to use JPEG. I'm going to do sRGB. Resolution 300 pixels per inch, and always sharpen for screen is what I pick. If this was for a print, for a client, then I would pick what kind of thing I'm printing it on and do it that way. And then I'm going to hit export. And that will be it. And I will find it on my desktop since that's where I chose.